So in dealing with waves that interfere with each other or pass through each other, we need to come up with the overall wave shape that's going to develop. Now we have one large wave in a solid line, one small wave with a dotted line, and they will make a new wave when they come together at this point. The overall shape of the wave is actually only going to be affected from here to here in the spot where the two waves interfere with each other. So that makes life a little bit easier. We only have to deal with a small section of this. What we know because of that is anywhere that those waves do not interfere, so anywhere on the left or right side, the shape of the wave will remain the same. So on the left side, all we have is this large wave, so if we're tracing out the shape, it will be roughly like that. And ideally it would be directly on top of the solid line, but just to illustrate it, and because my drawing skills aren't all that good, it's a little bit on top. It should be directly on top. On the right side, again, the shape of the wave will remain the same. What's going to change is the shape in the middle. Now, in order to do this, we only just need to count the squares and add or subtract as necessary. So I like to line things up on grid lines. So we have, I'm going to do this in light blue just to change the color. We have at this grid line, the small wave is here, the large wave is there. We just count squares. If we look at the small wave, it is 2 squares above the midline. In order to find the placement of the new wave, we can just add that 2 squares on top of the large wave. So the large wave is here. If we add 2 squares, the new wave would be roughly there. Moving over to the next grid line, small wave, large wave. The small wave is almost 3 squares above the midline, so from the large wave we'll count up almost 3 squares, roughly there. And this is an estimate. If we wanted to get extremely accurate, we could take a ruler to these, we could go a little more in depth, but we're not looking for that. We're looking for an estimate more than anything. The last point that we're going to need to worry about is this one right here. That small wave, I would say it's about 2.7 squares above the midline. You might say 2.6 or 2.8, and again, it's an estimate, so as long as it's reasonable, it's good enough. So from the large wave, we'll count up 2.7. We'll put it roughly there. And that is the last place these waves overlap. So now we can finish off this section in the middle where these waves overlap. We just need to connect the shape of the wave that I've done in gold to those new points that we've created, and then back down to the original wave. It may not look all that pretty. Your drawing skills are not what I'm looking at here. It's can you, within reason, combine the small wave with the large wave.